Hi there everybody, Austin here with yet another video for your viewing pleasure, or at least for whenever you don't have anything else to watch. Before we get started, I wanted to thank everybody for all the support. We're at over 5,000 views, over 400 hours watched, and I got over 80 more subscribers since my last video released. And that's just amazing. As a big thank you, I opened up the shop early, knocked off 25% off of all the items in there until this Friday. So be sure to go in there and put in your orders. I got plenty of matted artwork for sale, some artwork that you've seen from the videos, and some artwork you may have never seen on any of my pages before. As far as the shop goes, I have a mobile version and I've got a desktop version already set up for y'all to view. So you can get your orders in either way you like. And well, with all that said, go ahead and check out the shop. If you see something you like, by all means hit that order button, and at the end of the video I'll have a coupon code for y'all to get an extra 10% off on top of the 25. Y'all don't want to pass this up. I gotta give a shout out to Scott for having me on the chopping block under Classic Slashers of Horror on Facebook. I had a great time with that man and I appreciate all the support from that. And I'd like to give a shout out to Nova Meme. He has a channel here on YouTube. He does vlogs and he does videos on Steven Universe. And he gave me a shout out recently and I really appreciated it. I saw a lot of traffic from it, so I wanted to return the favor for that. And Alicia, thank you for introducing me to Scott for the chopping block. It meant a lot and it helped out a lot. Now if you enjoyed these videos, it would mean the world to me if you'd hit that like button, slam down on that subscribe button, and then drop a comment below and let me know what you think of the video. Now the video today, I will be working with charcoal, which is something I'm not used to working with, and on top of that we are going to be doing it on a 36" by 40" canvas. Oh yeah, this is going to be a big piece. Now I gotta let you know right now, it is a commissioned piece of work, so at the bottom I do have to leave an opening for another artist to do lettering. But I feel like this will make for a great video and I hope you all enjoy it. Alright, without any further ado, I'm not gonna keep you all waiting any longer. We're gonna get started in 5, 4, Alright everybody, as usual I'll start off with my grid lines and my shapes, as I always say at the beginning of every video, because that's just how it's done. This video is going to be a bit longer than the other ones because it's such a larger piece. But anyways, I'm going to be going into this starting off with a pencil outline. I've got to start off with pencil because charcoal is much harder to erase if I make a mistake. With this piece, I decided it would be best to just move my way from the top down when doing my outline. That's why I started with the head, and I tried filling in all the detail that I could right off the bat with the head. It was because I wanted to get it done before I actually moved on to the midsection and the top of the building. The hair actually posed quite a problem because of there being so much hair, and he had such a large beard that it was very difficult to distinguish the two from each other. But I really liked the end result in this video of how it all turned out. I started putting the stitching on the guitar strap, but I actually didn't finish the guitar strap till towards the end of the piece. From this point I'm going to put in minor detail to the hair just so I can get a general shape, because like I said before, he has so much hair that it makes up a lot of the shape of the piece of the upper body. I've got a good layout of where all the hair and the beard's going to be, so that'll help me create an outline for the rest of the piece from this point on. I'm going to give that beard a bit more shape and make it actually look more curly and more like hair. The person that's commissioning me to do this piece insisted on him having a denim vest, so I'm going to look to try to amplify on that as much as possible around the shoulder. I'm going to move back up top and try to get the shading done on this hair. Hair can be very tricky when it comes to shading, because there's just so many different patterns that you can take, different paths you can make with it. The best way to go about here is not to try to create every individual strand, because then you'll just end up with a mess. The best way to do it is try to create pools of shading, clumps of shading. This is where I began starting to draw the Ryman Auditorium. This was kind of a trial and error thing because I was having a hard time getting the correct measurements and the right angles for the top of the building. This was probably one of the more frustrating parts of the piece. I couldn't quite get each side to measure up just right. And I spent at least an hour and a half trying to figure out the measurements. This is where I began starting to get the outline of the different ledges, different creases in the building. Now is the time that I was starting to put in some of the windows, trying to add some detail to the building, because like I said, I wanted to work from the top down. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue with the outline of the rest of the building and try to get in all the extra windows and ledges that I haven't included just yet. I was doing my best not to block the camera at this point, and I'm really sorry if I did block out some of it. I actually want to take this short pause to just say I really liked how the doors were turning out at this point. And those tall windows over to the side, I kind of had my doubts about it, but in the end, they really came together. And there I am, blocking the camera. Sorry about that. A lot of the lines are looking kind of uneven, I know, from the video, but it's only because of the angle of the canvas and the angle of the camera were different. But trust me, in the end, they'd all came together, and I'm sure you'll like the piece at the end of the video. There you go, Austin. Block that camera. Block it. Block it. All of the other side of the building was like an exact replica of the first half that I've already worked on that you've already seen. So I wasn't too concerned about this part of the video being kind of blocked out. But if it does bother you, I am sorry, and I will not let it happen again in future videos. We're going to jump back onto Whitey and get a little bit of work done on him real quick. Get the rest of that outline done and get a little bit more shading done in there. Now it's time for a bit of cleanup, so I pull out the eraser and I start cleaning up between all these lines to give it a nice crisp look. Now it's time to crack open the main course. I'm pulling out my darkest charcoal pencil I got, and I'm going to work on some of these lines, darken them up, and put in some shading on those windows. This is where I did a bit of shading around the character because I was wanting to make it look like he was on stage with light shining down on him. Now it's time to darken up and do some touch-up work on Whitey and put in some of these really much needed details. At this point I had to lay the canvas on my bed to actually start working on some of the details I needed to work at, because I need to go at it from different angles, which is why in certain parts of this video you'll see it upside down or sideways. I was always told that you should wear gloves while working with charcoal, but what's the fun in that? I went over it with a charcoal stick and I blended it all together with my bare hand to end result with this piece. This piece wasn't actually commissioned for the person in the portrait. This was actually commissioned for somebody that's a huge supporter of this musician. The musician's name is Whitey Morgan. From what I've heard, he has really great music. And I did this portrait of him overlooking the Ryman Auditorium, which he will be playing at later on this month. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I thank you all for all your support. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and comment and let me know what you think of the end result of this piece. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Austin Messler. And if you haven't checked out my other videos, here's a couple of links to those right here. Enjoy.